What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of physics, and to this episode we're gonna work on the chapter of internal energy. And in this chapter, most of the things are pretty easy. They're not that bad to do. Some of them you have to write a system out, because sometimes you need to see what's going on inside, if there's any work, any energy lost, anything like that. So most of the time you need to do it, sometimes you don't, so it depends on the problem you're doing. On the problem today we're doing, if I remember right, you don't have to write a system out, but the problem goes like this. You have a pulley, and you know this mass has 8 kilograms, and this mass has 2 kilograms. There's M1 and M2, and this mass pulls this second mass to our 4 meter up high, like it's 4 meters, and your friend like Mike or your homie, so whoever's gonna come, he's just like smacks it, and this weight just flies, and this just goes down so quick, and you were like, oh my god, so what was like the final velocity of this weight before it hit the ground? So you're gonna do some physics to find out. So I know that to start with, I know that my energy initial needs to be, and my energy is equals to energy final. And if I write that, I know that work plus potential energy initial plus kinetic energy initial equals potential energy final plus kinetic energy final plus energy lost. And there's no work, there's nothing doing work on my system right here, so that will be 0. Kinetic energy initial, initially there's no kinetic energy going on, so that will be a 0. And energy loss, in the problem, it didn't say that there was any friction force, there was no error, there was nothing going inside this system. So we can assume, me and you can assume, that energy loss is 0, because it did not say there was any friction going on. So we assume it's 0. So I'm left with potential energy initial has to be equals the potential energy final plus kinetic energy final. Now, I skipped a part, I don't know why, but I moved this to this side. So I put something like M2, mass of the mass 2, gravity height minus M1 gravity height has to be equals a half M1 plus M2 equals velocity final squared. Right? So you're trying to find for velocity final squared. So you're going to move this to the side, multiply this, divide this, divide that. So you're going to get something like this, where V final squared equals 2gh M2 minus M1, and then you take the square root of this whole thing, and you're going to get something like this. And if you're plugging all your numbers in there, you're going to get something, you're going to get this number, 2.56 meters per second, so you know how fast your weight came down. So thank you. This was a very short problem, very easy. I hope you guys know. You always, a very quick tip before we end this video is when you're working with the internal energies, this equation right here, my goodness gracious, this helps a lot. So you should know this, helps a lot. Thank you.